7 different players have caught passes from Joe Burrow. How impressive is his ability to be able to read the field this early on in his career?
Yeah, he knows where to go with the ball, and I think the bigger thing there is just the trust factor with all these guys. A lot of them have been in this system for the second year, and so they've really honed in on the details, and they're all very coachable. That's one thing that's special about this group is how coachable they are, their attention to detail. So when their moment comes, they can all capitalize it because Joe's going to find them. And like even the Drew Sample didn't have a catch yesterday. It's just you never know what's Mike Thomas. These guys who could catch 6 to 10 balls in a game, walk away with 0, and other guys have big production, and that can change from week to week.
Coach, when you've had a chance now to look at the tape of how well or how that offensive line played and really look at it in detail, were you even more surprised? I mean, or not surprised, were you even more proud of the way they performed?
Well, certainly proud of them. There's no question. They don't get a ton of reps, and but when their number's called, they're ready to go. And that's just kind of the message to a lot of the guys that are maybe backups and don't get all the opportunities to practice they want. You always got to stay ready in this league because you never know when it's your time to shine. You got to take advantage of it. I think overall we're always overly cautious as coaches to not celebrate one performance too much. Guys know that there's mistakes across the board that we have to correct if we're going to be a really good football team. So just because we did make a lot of plays that allowed us to win the game in all 3 phases, there were still a lot of things that we got to clean up and can do a better job of.
Coach, when you look at this offense, the beauty of it in the sense of you can't key on one person. And as you go week to week, as you said, it may be Sample one week, it could be Tyler one week. Is that what you envision this offense to be, one that's not predictable?
That's certainly helpful. When you got faith in a lot of people, we got several backs, several tight ends, several receivers that we got a lot of faith in. And so, again, it makes Joe's job easier, makes my job easier. You're not having to move people around to always make them the primary target. You can just call plays and know that the guy's going to get open. He's going to make the play. It might be wide open. It might be contested. And so when you got that kind of faith, it makes it a lot easier to game plan and scheme things up.
Do you think any of the offensive linemen that played yesterday earn more time in practice or earn more time with their performance in future games?
Those are questions that we get the chance to really work through this week. And again, it was a really good performance by those guys. Also feel like the 5 linemen that had been starters have been playing really well the last 2 weeks, and so again, you don't just rush to make decisions like that. And we got time, but certainly have a confidence in a lot of guys at that position right now.
Zach, any update on Darius Phillips?
Not yet. Not yet on Darius. Not today.
What about Bobby Hart? Is there a timeline on him?
No timeline on Bobby Hart. Obviously we didn't put him on IR. If you're going to do that, you would have wanted to do it before that last game for the 3 weeks. So again, it's a little bit open-ended there. And again, we'll go through this bye week and see where a couple guys are with injuries, but hopeful. That's why we didn't put him on IR when we had the opportunity last week.
You mentioned the bye week. Is it with COVID protocols, are guys allowed to take off this weekend, or do they have to stick around?
Yeah, I have to get tested every day.
So what is your message to them to how to spend this time where they can't go?
Yeah, you have to be unselfish. This is not a typical year. And if we want to make sure that we can do all the things in the second half of the season that we believe we can do and stay healthy, then guys just have to be unselfish and just again, shelter at home, just enjoy your time, get off your feet, watch a movie, play video games, order food, whatever it is. But you just got to be unselfish. And again, we had them in the building today. We'll have them in the building on Wednesday. So we'll have a little bit of their time there, but our guys have been good so far. They've done a real good job, and they just got to follow through with that this week.
What do you think? Knew on Friday, Zach, that you wouldn't have 3 starting offensive linemen. Can you describe the feeling of learning yesterday morning that Michael Jordan was out?
I think that's what you can appreciate about Jim Turner. It's the phone call I got on Sunday morning. When we were both driving the stadium, it wasn't panic. It wasn't what do you want to do. It's here's what I think we should do. That was the first thing he said to me because we both got the text at the same time. So I knew what he was calling about. And he just said, here's what we're going to do. And again, there's no time. Nobody's going to care that you played with whoever's playing. Nobody cares. They just care if you won or you lost. That's all that matters. And so the less time you spend wasting on, oh my gosh, how could this happen to us? It's just, you just go do your job. And, I wish we could have videotaped the walkthrough performance we had from about 10 a.m. to noon yesterday and upstairs in the coach's offices. That would have been a sight to see. It's one of those fun things. It's not necessarily fun at the time. You want to make sure these guys are ready to go. But when you look back on it, you just appreciate, everybody did everything they could to make sure the players were in the right mindset. Billy and Keaton and Shaq had been here, so they're helping Q, along every step of the way. Jimmy and Ben are coaching their tails off for 48 hours because you didn't expect Quentin to play. We expect him to be the eighth guy. And all of a sudden he's the sixth, and all of a sudden he's the fifth. And so, you were getting him ready anyways. You didn't envision this scenario playing out. But again, just really proud of everybody in that particular room, the way that they handled it with the right approach and just handled the business and got it done.
Spain was powerful. I mean, watching him, he was moving people. And you could understand, I guess, if there were some mental errors, but didn't appear to be, egregious mental errors. Was he just right on point?
Yeah, credit to Billy. Credit to Billy in game, helping him along with okay, that's what this
right.
Code word you just heard from Joe. What this means is zone, whatever it was, and at the same time, Q's played a lot of football, and so some things come pretty naturally. Especially me really talking to him for the first time I've interacted with him was Sunday morning. Hearing his response to some things I said just to let you know, okay, he gets it. He knows football, and Billy's going to have to help him a little bit, just reminding him what some terms are, but he did a good job handling it.
Zach, you talked about when you were talking about the protocols and the guys maintaining, doing what they're doing going forward so you can get done in the second half of the year what you want to get done. Can you elaborate on what you think this team can do in the final 8 weeks of the year?
Well, I'm not going to make predictions on anything further than the next game, but we just have to continue to improve. And now our team has finished the game, which we hadn't done. We hadn't done a good enough job of that. And so now they've seen it. There's evidence of it against a good football team. That's what we're going to continue to do as we move forward. No sense in making predictions. We just got to control what we can control and have the right mindset to keep preparing each week. That's what I've seen from our guys. There's been no complaints on my end about how guys have approached the week with the right energy, the right attention to detail. We just hadn't made the plays in those critical moments. And it's fun when you get a chance to show the team today the plays over the course of the game that led us to victory. Some of them happened in the second quarter. Some of them happened in third down, getting a key stop on defense and finishing drives on offense. And then the fourth quarter being able to close it out. And so, again, those are the things. That's the message we send to the team, and the guys have really embraced that.
With the additions you've added at guard, are there going to be some position battles in the interior, or is Michael Jordan and Xavier still going to start when they get back healthy?
Again, we thought that the 5 starters that had been the starters were doing a really nice job for us these 2 weeks before the game. Saw some guys take advantage of their opportunities. No reason to make predictions, but again, felt good about the direction that the line was heading going into this game.
Coach, as guys were going down, in terms of even up until game day morning, did you adjust your game plan at all in terms of what you had going on up front personnel-wise, or did you pretty much stay with the same game plan and try to indoctrinate them into what you were trying to get done?
I think that there were some things you had in mind to see how the first quarter played out. And then once we get through the first quarter, we could just stay on schedule with the way we knew we could win the football game. And so, with the wind, throwing the ball down the field, the play actions kind of went out the window. You combine that with, I'm not really sure what Q knows in terms of a lot of the play actions we had. We determined that wasn't really needed to be a big piece of our offense. That was really the only element that disappeared. But other than that, I thought everybody handled the play in the right way.
Pass defense looked different with Will Jackson back. Can you describe the value that he brings to the defense?
Yeah, he's a start. I mean, he's a really good starting corner, and so when you get a chance to put him out there and help that, and then roll the other guys at the other position, that's best suited for our defense. And again, I thought our safeties played really well too. Those guys in coverage really stepped up and made some big plays.
Zach Tate just said, he felt that no doubt Burrow should be the front runner to be Rookie of the Year. Do you feel like Burrow's played well enough through 8 games at the midway point to be the front runner to be this year's top rookie?
I mean, I'm certainly glad we got him. I don't really put any thought into that. I don't watch really the rookies around the league to know what to compare him to. I just know that we're really happy that we have him, and that's all that should matter.
Coach, talk about your appreciation for your staff. I mean, they've put in a lot of work this year, and sharing this victory with them had to be something special as well.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because we have felt all along that we have a special staff that's all bought in for the right reasons. And when you go through tough times, they usually got a bullseye on their back, and these guys have never flinched for 1 second. We've stuck together. The players believe in what we're doing. And so just they've done a tremendous job over this last year and a half. I really believe that, keeping everybody together, focused on the right things, and sending the right message. And so, you look at a guy like Brian Callahan. He doesn't call the plays, so he doesn't always get the praise. But the head coach, you get pulled away for a lot of different things, and Brian's always the one that kind of gets the plan started. And just thought this week in particular, he did a tremendous job, of giving us the nuts and bolts of what we needed to do to win this game, and kept that message. He harped on it all week with the offensive players in particular. So you could single out a lot of people, but he's one that kind of is behind the scenes that maybe you guys don't see a lot. That he's always done a great job, but this week thought he did a really, really awesome job.
Coach, how different was from conversations yesterday with yourself, with players, even today, was that no one was surprised or shocked at the outcome of what happened on Sunday. It's one thing to say that, but how important do you think it is for the psyche of a football team to see that and to see that result that you had yesterday?
I agree with you. It is important, but at the same time, we don't ride the wave that most people that are in the building ride, from week to week when, oh, you lost, you should have won. Yeah, we know that. But we also know what the difference was, where the key moment was in the game, or what the play each guy could have done differently, or what call could have come different. We all see that, so you don't overreact to the losses. You just know if we keep plugging along and we fix one thing a week and we just become better each week, then we'll close out a game. And now there's some validation for the way we approach things and the way we play, but we got to keep doing it. One game doesn't mean you won the Super Bowl. We trust me, we're well aware of that. But it does help us, put us in the right frame of mind as we continue to work forward. And it just feels good to win. It doesn't mean that you overlook the corrections that need to be made, but it certainly feels good when you walk in the building the next day and it's nice to see the players rewarded with a victory.
Everybody that did a Zoom yesterday, yourself included, Zach, mentioned how big it was to get a win before the bye. Is there a benefit to being able to savor that for 2 weeks before you play again?
Well, you get to enjoy the time that you do get off during the bye. Your heart feels a little bit better. Your chest feels a little better than if you're just coming off a loss and you're dwelling on that. And now you get a chance. One of the most fun things about the bye is you get a chance on a Sunday just to sit there and watch everybody else battle it out, you don't have a horse in the race there. So that's one of my favorite things to do during the bye week. Obviously, we got a lot of things we got to work on this week in terms of scheme evaluation, getting ready for Pittsburgh. So there's no shortage of work there, but it is nice to go into a long week with no game coming off a victory.
Coach, how different or will the next 25 hours or so be with the trade deadline looming for you in the organization in general?
But we always have these conversations. It doesn't matter if the trade deadline's tomorrow or previously or whatever. We always talk personnel. Can't control that at the moment. It's just as it comes, and there's no need for me to really talk about it publicly.
Coach John Ross has expressed.
How much better a quarterback is Joe Burrow now, 8 games under his belt at the bye, than he was before the season started?
I don't know that he's always I haven't had a lot of complaints with how he's played. I just think now you're in more of the rhythm overall as an offense and as a team. I think that's all it comes down to. Everyone now has gotten a lot of plays under the belt in the season, a lot of plays practicing together and playing together. And so that everyone looks better and there's great chemistry and you know where everyone's going to be and you're feeding off each other's energy. I think it makes everybody look better. But I think that for a rookie, he's done a tremendous job of his approach and how he's handled things and never appearing to be overwhelmed, never appearing to be flustered. He's been as steady as can come. It's just really impressive the job he's done through 8 weeks. But again, we got a long ways to go with this team.
Guys, 2 more questions. Gary, I know you had one, and then Tyler.
Coach, John Ross has expressed through social media his desire to be traded because he continues to be healthy and active. If he doesn't get traded, how do you get him to, get buy-in, and where's that relationship stand heading into a trade deadline?
Yeah, we've always been upfront and honest with those guys, and expect him to show up and do his job, and have always liked John and had a good relationship with him, and that's the expectation.
Zach, non-football related, have you had discussions with your team about the importance of voting? And if so, can you fill us in what was said?
So they've all registered to vote. We've had a time, I can't remember when it was, a month ago maybe, where everybody registered to vote, and they understand there's been plenty of discussions. We talk about a lot of different topics over each couple of weeks. We have a meeting with some key players, and so again, they're aware. The NFL has done a great job mandating tomorrow off. It just happens to fall on our bye week, where guys can get out there and do it. And so again, it's important that everyone gets out there and vote, because your vote matters, and the players understand that. And we've done enough. Now it's on their plate to get out there and do it tomorrow.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time. I'll let you go.
Thank you,
Coach.
Hey, Coach.